So good morning, fellow classmates and dear Dr. Maya. Did you know that according to the book of Depression, Understanding Depression by Patricia Ainsworth, published in the year 2000, 20% of the world population is at risk of depression at some point in their life. Well, that's a big number. Now, after much research trying to find a topic that is both interesting and beneficial to my audience, I realized that the fact that anyone at any age is at risk of depression. As a matter of fact, since we're all living in UAE, it might be interesting for you to know that according to the National, in an article by Jennifer Bell in the year 2013, young adults, and specifically women in UAE, are quite prone to depression. And the stigma that corresponds to seeking help of depression is quite high in this country. And the stigma is due to the fact that there's a cultural view in this region that relates depression and anxiety to lack of faith and religious views, or even as a personal weakness. And this prevents them from seeking personal help. Now, given that 20% is not a small number to be neglected, and the fact that we're living in UAE, and which is a young country that has the most population among the 20 to 50 to 25 to 54, which is very young, and the fact that UAE, alongside Iran and many countries in the North Africa, are rated highest depression rate, as you can see the red color, highlights the significance and the fact that I chose this topic to talk to you about, and hope of you leaving today's class knowing more than you did yesterday. So today I would like to familiarize you with what depression means, and give you some symptoms of it, and inform you on how to treat it in a non-medical way. Now let me begin by defining what depression actually means. According to the book of Depression Facts by Susan Paulicci, published in 2007, depression is more than just the blahs and the blues. It is the persistent feeling of sadness that doesn't go away. It's like a dark cloud that stays in your brain despite everything you have tried to do to make it go away. Depression is when your morning coffee, the only thing that your morning coffee reminds you of is the beginning of a new day that you have to go through. Depression can have many symptoms such as sadness, major mood swings, low energy, having suicidal thoughts, and disturbed sleep and appetite, and having trouble concentrating, as well as headaches and chronic pain, which is the physical part of it. Now, depression is very common among college students between the age of 18 to 29, which most of my audience consists of. According to Patricia Ainsworth again, the first episodes of depression usually shows up in the person's 20s, and the average duration lasts between 8 months to 2 years. Now, many suicides during university years are due to depression as well. Now, according to the book of Depression and Social Environment by Capellia in 1993, it has been found that suicidal behavior is spotted among many university students that suffer from depression. Now that you understand what depression means, and that I have informed you about some of the symptoms of mild depression and its early stages, I would like to inform you about 3 ways that you can treat or even prevent depression at the early stages. First of all, exercising. Now, the role of exercising in management of depression has been a very interesting topic in the past few years. Besides all the great things that you have heard about exercise, I'm here today to inform you that voila, it also helps depression. According to Science Letter, in a quote by Madhukar Trivedi, holder of Lydia Brandt Test Professorship in Psychiatric Research and Study, he quotes that aerobic exercises can help reduce depression and have similar effects to antidepressants. Now that's a huge thing to say. He also insists that the key is the intensity and consistency for 30 to 35 minutes a day. Now, in addition, according to Psych Neuroendocrinology Journal, in an article called Exercise for Depression by Gillian Mead, it is stated that running widely is considered to be antidepressant, and also it improves emotional and cognitive symptoms of depression. Now, after finding out how exercise can contribute and help you in reducing depression symptoms, I want to tell you about another factor that helps depression: nutrition. Now, the saying that you're what you eat apparently holds in this case too. your food consumption can have significant effects on treating or worsening or even preventing depression. Now, according to an article by Australia Asian Science magazine published in 2010 by Jaka, it's not that poor diet can actually give you depression. It's that it makes you more exposed and reduces your resilience towards depression. As an example of diet or food consumption that can give you depression is alcohol. According to Bonham J. and Ferguson in an article called Facts About Depression, published in 2011, they insist that there is a causal linkage between alcohol consumption and depression, in a way that this linkage is directly proportional. The more the alcohol consumption, the higher the risk of depression. As a matter of fact, alcohol is known to be a depressant itself and should be avoided by anyone that sees symptoms of depression in itself. Now, according to Aslam HM in an article of Effects of Diet on Depression published in 2013, fast foods, trans fatty acids, commercial bakery products are all associated with high risk of depression, whereas lipids and lipids that possess anti-inflammatory characteristics such as omega-3, which you can find in fish, or olive oil, can actually help reduce depression. Now, in addition, generally speaking, a Mediterranean diet, which we all know consists of more fresh vegetables, whole grain foods, and better oils such as omega-3 oil, fish oil, sesame oil, or olive oil, can all help in depression. Now, and finally, one of the last but not least factors that can help you in treating depression or even preventing it is contributing to sleep hygiene. Now, although you might have an idea of what sleep hygiene means by the name, let me be more clear to you and define it exactly. Sleep hygiene specifically refers to having an effective and perfectly timed and scheduled sleeping pattern and sessions. According to Haddad M. and Gunn, J. 2011, having sleep disorders and distractions is quite common, up to 70% in people diagnosed with mild depression. Now, so promoting sleep hygiene is quite beneficial in avoiding depression. Now, avoiding naps, caffeine, and trying to wind down before sleeping time can all contribute to sleep hygiene. As a matter of fact, it might be interesting for you to know that waking up the same time of the day every day is more important than sleeping at the same time in promoting sleep hygiene. So in conclusion, the feeling of sadness and being unmotivated for no reason while having no hope for the future, lack of energy, and many other symptoms and factors that I talked to you about can all be signs of minor depression. Although there are many options and ways in treating depression, promoting sleep hygiene, exercising, and having a balanced and perfect nutrition can all help in treating and preventing mild depression, and can be applied to almost everyone at their own comfort. Now, in Prozac Nation, the best-selling memoir and autography by Elizabeth Wurtzel, an American writer and journalist, published in 1994, where she describes her battles with depression in a book, she states that the thing about depression is that a human being can survive almost anything as long as they can predict the end. But depression is so deceptive and it compounds daily, and it's almost impossible to ever see the end. The more informed we are about activities and habits that oppose depression, the less likely that we might be entangled with this mental illness. Thank you. Questions?
Just tell us a bit more about why does it develop in people all of a sudden?
For example, I don't know why generally it develops in people, but the group that I studied, which is college students, is the fact that you suddenly, from your childhood, you're entering a whole new level of responsibilities. You're suddenly an adult, you have to take care of your life. You might actually not even live with your family anymore. And that could be a cause of depression because now
There's
you're
just a lot of
facing a
stress.
whole new world and there's no one to take care of you anymore as they used to. It's also very common between pregnant women because they can have they have to avoid many activities because of their pregnancy as well.
I like how you made the topic interesting, but I have a question. By how much percent does aerobics reduce depression?
You cannot actually put a specific percentage on an activity, a physical activity. Like it's not mathematics. It's something like that helps you. And mostly because like balances your hormones and stuff like that. That's what I think at least. So you cannot actually put a specific number on it. It's just an activity that helps on mental illness. None of them are specific. You know?
Yeah, question. What about the medication these people take for depression, like depression pills?
Remember
those
the
work?
book that I said at the end by Elizabeth Wurtzel?
Yeah.
That she got really famous. She was a Harvard student, but she dropped up in many battles in her life. Her parents divorced when she was young, and she wrote a whole book about. She was a very smart kid, and the name of the book was Prozac Nation. Now, Prozac, you might think was Prozac. It's the name of an antidepressant, but this antidepressant can have like many other effects as well. Actually, when you stop Prozac, you can actually have more like phases of depression. But it also it's there for like patients that suffer from bulimia nervosa, if you know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually all of the chemical like medications that are given to patients have really bad side effects for depression. That's why I concentrated more on non-medical ways to prevent it before it's too late. If you promote a healthy lifestyle, it's really rare that you might actually suffer from depression unless something bad.
Okay.
Thank you.